welcome to Smash Writing. Today is a magical time of the year where we get to jump back into the Scream franchise, one of my favorite franchises of all time, because they never really miss. All the movies are always really fun to watch, they're exciting, they're easy to suck you into this world. And when your miss is Scream 3, which is a perfectly average, perfectly good slasher film just surrounded by the giants of what comes before it and after it, it gets really exciting when it comes down to a new one. But I always get a little bit antsy when I go into a new Scream movie. I'm like, is this going to be it? Is this going to be the time where they finally flub one? Well, let's find out. We don't have any Paulie here. We can skip all the regular stuff. But before we actually jump in, I do gotta say one thing. It's really actually hard to talk about these movies without spoiling anything. Because at its heart, it's a mystery. It's a whodunit. So, what I'm going to do is this. Normally what I do is I talk about the movie, I do pros and cons, and then grade, and then out of here. Bye. Short, simple, to the point. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do story, pros and cons. I'm going to give you my grade so you can get out of here. And then I'm going to give you a big warning, lots of bells and whistles and everything for when I go into the spoiler territory at the end of the movie, end of the review. So you can get my opinion, you can get my grade, and you can go on and not have too much spoiled for you. But there might be some light spoiler stuff here depending on how much you want to know versus how much you don't want to know going into this movie. So it is a bit of a warning, but when I do get into the bigger spoiler stuff, I'll save that for the end after I give the grade. Okay, too much talking. Let's jump into it. Story time. Let's go. The movie kicks off with a hell of an opener that I cannot talk about. Hell of an opener. We jump to Sam, who's been seeing a therapist. It's 6 months later. It's 6 months after the Scream 5, what happens in the events of Scream 5. And the therapist finally gets it out of her because she's not very up to told him what is bothering her and what's really going on. And she tells him what happened with her boyfriend, Richie. And people have turned it into a conspiracy theory online that she's the psycho and she was the killer. And Richie died an innocent man. And to really reinforce just how much of this is actually going on, he is telling her that she can't treat her, and he's actually going to report her because at one point she tells him that she kind of liked killing Richie, because he was psychotic. But in her mind, she really enjoyed this, and he kind of freaks him out, and he's threatening to report and everything. She gets angry and leaves, and we go meet up, and she goes to her house originally, and her roommate tells her that her sister Tara's at a party, and we see Tara at the party. We meet up with Mindy and Chad, and we meet Mindy's girlfriend Anika and Chad's roommate, the other roommate, Ethan, and they kind of prevent Tara from going upstairs, and Sam shows up and tases the gun guy, and it goes out of control from there because Tara reports Sam has been super overprotective. And they take the argument outside. It gets interrupted by a woman who throws a drink at Sam and calls her a murderer because she's one of the people who believe in the conspiracy. And they get home a few emotional conversations later, and they see the murder from the beginning of the movie on the news. And Sam wants to leave immediately. And the sister convinces her to call their friend Quinn's dad, who's a member of the police, he's a cop. And they call him, and he's like, well, I was about to call you because I found Sam's license plate at the scene of the crime here. So Sam and Tara go to leave, and as they're about to leave, they get a call. As they're walking down the sidewalk, they get a call from the killer, and he attacks immediately. Because this killer is not playing around in this movie. He is hitting them fast, hard, and often. But they get away from there, and they go to the police station, and they're looking at Sam as the number one suspect here. And then we meet FBI agent Kirby. wonderful reveal. Love seeing Kirby back. But it gets down to they're not allowed to leave town, so they leave and Sam and Tara leave, and we see Gale. In true Scream fashion, she gets punched in the face. Not by Sam. She dodges the one from Sam. Tara gets her because they had a big falling out over Gale's in the book. But from there, like I said, the killer hits often that night, and then it just goes and goes from there. But I will leave it at that for now. Pros and cons time. I love these kills. I do. I know that Scream movies don't get real high points for creativity, being that they stay mostly with the stabbing of the knife. But I like the simplicity of that, you know? Jason's got all his toys, and Michael's got all his toys, and you go in the movies and you get all these creative kills, but Stab keeps it simple. That doesn't mean they're not brutal. And some of these kills in this movie are pretty brutal. At the times they do get a little bit of creative and they kill in other ways, it's brutal too. I love it. I appreciate it. All up for me. And I really liked the conspiracy theory route they took, showing you how easy it is for people to take facts and twist it to fit their own little crazy conspiracy, and how people just want to believe in out there cuckoo stuff, and the damage that can do. It's just re-victimizing Sam all over again, while she's already dealing with so much trauma of everything else, and she has her own mental issues where she's trying to walk that fine line between her father being Billy and trying to sort through all of that and what happened with Richie and all of this conspiracy stuff. She doesn't need it, and it's being a nightmare for her. And I really appreciated just them showing you all of this. I thought that was an interesting way for them to go. And the rules of this one being a franchise takedown. They find themselves in the middle of a franchise. So they're breaking down the rules of the franchise and how everyone's expendable here because anyone can get the franchise tag at any moment. And then they're the new main characters. It doesn't matter if you've been the main character or not, which is a lot of fun. Especially since it was Mindy giving all this, and Mindy was a fantastic character. And with that, we'll go into, I really enjoyed the fact that this relied heavily on the new crop, the crop we met in Scream 5 and the crop they introduced here in this movie. Melissa Barrera. If you've been watching long enough, you know I mispronounce almost every name I come across. I think she's doing an awesome job as Sam. I love the emotional depth she brings to the table here. How she's trying so hard to be the good sister to Tara, but she's being overprotective at the same time. But as a viewer, you can understand why she's trying to be overprotective as a big sister. You understand Tara's point of view. Like, neither of them are in the wrong for that. And I really loved what Melissa brings to this. And that turmoil she's going through between, am I like Billy? Is this not just me defending myself kind of deal? And I think she has great chemistry with Tara, the sister, and Jenna Ortega. It's a bigger name. I won't miss that one. But, yeah, you know what I mean. She really shines, and she keeps pace with everyone. You put her on screen with, she's bouncing off of everyone. Especially with her and Chad. I thought her and Chad had some great chemistry. Really should have done a better job of writing down their names. I believe Chad is Mason Gooding. Those two, their scenes were really fun. I love the back and forth between them. I love the back and forth with anytime Jasmine Savoy Brown, who plays Mindy, is on the screen, it is great. She's so much fun. She is a fantastic Mindy. Like, you really feel like she's Denise and Randy. And she got a little bit of screen time with Hayden Pattinson's returning Kirby. Pattentura. I gotta get better with these names. That's what I gotta practice in the mirror, not the openings, pronouncing the names. We needed more time with Kirby and Mindy, okay? I'll say that, that's a con. We did not get enough Kirby and Mindy on the screen. Fix that. But, and of course, well, we do get the newer actors, Ethan, Quinn, the detective. They're all a lot of fun too. Everyone who came in this movie came in with a working shoots on, ready to go. And of course, Courtney Cox as Neve Campbell was fantastic as always. She was great. There was a line in this movie I really want to know if it's true or not, and I got to go back and look. They made mention that Ghostface and Gale never had a conversation on the phone. And I think that's actually true until this point, and that's mind-boggling if that is. Scream 2, maybe? No, he called Randy. I don't know. That's a great piece of trivia, though. I did not know that, and the fact that we're this far in, I'm kind of embarrassed admitting that. I love the conversations between all the characters. Everything really felt natural as characters. They felt like the goofy group of friends who were just going through it. And they're all in it together. They're all supporting one another, like Sidney, Gale, and Dewey did before, and this crop is following in the same shoes. They're all in it together. They've all moved to New York City. They relocated here to build each other up through the hard times. I really do enjoy the change of scenery to the city. We got to see the new places and how trapped you feel in one of these apartment complexes where you're in this little apartment and the killer's blocking the only door. And your story's high. What are you going to do to get out of this? And then you're in the subway. You're in the streets. You're crowded. You're surrounded by all these people. But how alone you are, because people are just minding their own business. They're not paying attention to you, and how quickly things can spiral out of control and nobody notice around you. I really dug that situation they were in. All right. I didn't mind the killer reveals. It's very hard to talk about the killer reveals. I'm not going to tell you who they are. Even in the spoiler section, I'm not going to tell you who they are. I enjoyed how they handled it. I enjoyed the reveal of it. I enjoyed what the killers were trying to do here. That's all I'm going to say. Even in the spoiler review part of this video, I'm not going into it. Alright, final grade. I still haven't decided. Even on my sheet of paper that's between two. People who've been following along know I give very friendly. I'm a very friendly grader. I'm not a very harsh critic. I feel I bounce off of Paul better that way, being that he's more of the hard critic. What will I give this? I'm going to give this a... screw it. I'm giving this an S. This was really fun. I really had a great time. Go out, check this movie out at the theaters. Alright, 5 seconds. Go into spoiler review. If you stuck around this long, you don't want to go any further, go enjoy it, have a good time. Bye-bye to you. In 5 seconds, we will be right back. Alright, spoiler time. I'm not going to go, this ain't going to go long, because I don't want to spoil everything for you. I just want to talk about some more of this stuff, and I'm the only person I know who's seen it. So let's talk a bit. I loved the opening of this movie. This might be my favorite opening in the Scream franchise, rivaling even the first one. The fact that they showed us the kill, and we're like, oh, okay, we're about to move on, and then they take off their mask, and they follow this guy, and he even stops to talk to Tara in the group, and he goes about his business, and he talks about his partner, and how they're going to be the killers of this movie, and why they're doing it, and to have the actual real killer kill the two original killers in this movie. It was such a fantastic, mind-bending way to begin this movie. I loved it. I appreciated it so much. Way to go. What I will say about the reveal of the killers. Alright, you got me to bite. You bastards. You got me. For a moment, I really thought you were naming her as the killer. And my heart was just breaking into 1,000 pieces. It wasn't a long bite. It wasn't long when things started progressing the way after that. I'm like, no, no, you're trying one on me. They tried, but for a moment, you did bite. It was great fun. Uh, I love the direction. I love the flow. I love the shrine that they had for all the Scream movies and all the props and the weapons, and how you got Kirby looking at the knife that stabbed her, and you just, oh, it was so much fun. Go watch the movie. I'm out of here. Bye bye.